Welcome back to the YouTube studio here at the Munich Security Conference, and I'm back again with a guest, Alain Berset, and I hope I pronounced it properly.
That's right. Congratulations.
Yeah, I really try to make sure that I pronounce the names of my guests properly. You're the president of the Council of Europe, which has been founded in 1949.
Exactly.
And is it right that the European Union stole like your flag, let's say, which has been there from 49?
We are the same continent, the same united family. It's fully okay. But that's right. The Council of Europe was founded in 49. It was just after the Second World War, World War II. It was after a lot of destruction, suffering, what a terrible situation for the continent. And it was made with this idea, no more again. We must be sure that it will be peace on the continent, and we should invest in this, invest in rule of law and democracy and human rights to have stability and peace on the continent.
And just to clarify for everybody, the Council of Europe does not belong to the EU. It's like it's separate entity.
No, it's fully different. We have been here before the European Union, and it is not a political body. It is more a multilateral organization based on shared values, and with a lot of members. We have 46 member states. We have Turkey, for example, as a member, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Ukraine, Moldova. We have a lot of members, not members of the EU, and also all the EU members, 27. That means it's a quite wide family, European family. Yeah.
I would like to talk with you about democracy backsliding, because I have also some stats with me from Germany, and people are, have less trust in the democracy and its decisions and decision makers, let's say. One of the reasons is economic inequality in a country, right? Like rich getting richer, poorer getting poorer. Do you believe that economic strength, well-paid people, right, good insurance and all those kind of things for all Europeans, let's say, would help to prevent this kind of backsliding?
Completely. We are witnessing backsliding of democracy everywhere in the world, not only in Europe, but also in Europe. And it is a strong concern for us and also a huge challenge. What can we do with this situation? And why is it so? It is so because we have population in our countries seeing that we live and in democratic context, we can vote, we can choose for government, but the perspectives for me, for my families, for my friends, is not better. It's not going better. And the perspective for the next generation is not going better. Why? We had a huge sequence of crises. Just think about the financial crisis, 2008, debt crisis. Then we had the first war, beginning of the war in Ukraine, rise of populism. Then we had the COVID crisis. Yeah. Now the full-scale aggression of Russia and Ukraine. And this sequence of crises is a strong support. It is really not a good thing for the rise of inequalities. And we have at the same time democratic structure, but the rise of inequalities. And this impression, what should I do if democracy is not able to deliver for us? And I think we should address this with stability, more perspectives, and it is avoiding crisis. To try to have stability, to have predictability about what will happen, and to have this stability in order to have better perspective for all of us. And I just forgot to mention the climate crisis.
Yeah. Looking at Germany, for example, we have elections coming up. Just in a couple of days, pretty much. Yeah. How do you view the situation in Germany in terms of backsliding of democracy?
I think, as I mentioned before, backsliding democracy, it is because we have more and more fragmentation in the political debates. We have more and more polarization. We have discussion in the social media, not always, positive for the quality of the debates. We have, not a clear limit more between opinion and facts. It is possible with opinion to create alternative facts. What does it mean in democracy? Democracy is like to play football. You need to play into the rules. If you play outside of the rules, it will not go well. It's exactly what's happening now, and I think we shouldn't be naive. We should address this issue. We should try to have also a huge investment in education and how to deal with this situation with social media, with fragmentation of the societies, to be able to have democracy delivering at the end. But now that it is well, huge discussion, quite complicated. Well, before the election, this ambience quite brutal. It is normal. It is a game, it is a real game.
Although you mentioned just fragmentation, right? Germany was one of the last countries where we had like a huge split of parties. Like for the longest time, we had 4 or 5 parties, and that's pretty much it. Obviously, we have small parties also since a long time, but pretty much a few basic parties. And in other countries in Europe, we had already, like Netherlands, goodness me, how many parties we have there. But in Germany, we just recently seen this fragmentation. Would you say this fragmentation, especially in Germany, is a good thing or just a normal development or something which
I see
is
this
a symbol
as,
of backsliding?
No, I see this as a part of destructuration of the whole political debate now, and maybe with the opportunity to create new equilibria. It is clear that it is not more possible to have the same democracy for the next generation as we had 30 years ago. It was another world, and we must be able to adapt. That's why the Council of Europe is launching one plan to renew the Democratic Pact. We must address this, to see this as a process, to adapt. We must be ready to adapt. And I think that it will be possible to have also a new equilibrium at the end. But the moment right now could be quite not so agreeable to have, because it is destructuration. We have a loss of orientation. What do we want to achieve as a society for us for the next 10 years? 10 years, it seems to be in an eternity. It's not so far. It is 2035. Just think 10 years behind us. It was 2015. I can remember where I've been in 2015, in February or in March. I mean, it is really present, and we must think on the long term.
I mean, historically speaking, do you think in terms of backsliding of democracy, do you think it's getting worse before it's getting better in Europe, especially?
Now it's not going in the right direction. It's going bad. We should avoid to have the worst possible situation. That's why we must engage in this. We have divergent forces in action at the moment that we must find convergence again a bit more, like it was the case, very optimistic, maybe a bit naive also in the 90s and 2000. And we must come back with this ideas. What do we want to achieve for as individuals, but also as a families and also as a society for 10, 15 years?
One last question. If you have one wish and you're in a powerful situation, you're a powerful man, to make democracy better, what would you want for it to be better? That
everybody will be able in the future to engage in a conversation with someone else, thinking that it is maybe possible to find one positive element on the other side, and to try to create together a result. That means not to engage again, but with, and to try to progress together. But for this, you need to have players playing into the rules.
And the rules are then being, for example, not extremist or
being correct with facts and opinions, to define what is a fact, what is an opinion, not to put in all questions all the facts that we have, and to not to have so hatred speech, to be correct in addressing other people, and to try really to define together something positive for the society.
Mr. Berset, thank you so much for being here and talking to me about the state of our democracy.
Thank you.